Stop shaking. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, is going to be my Jonas Brothers concert experience, kind of like a get ready with me, I guess. I'm just gonna tell you like everything that happened and how amazing it was, and I've always, oh my god, I loved the experience so much. It was absolutely amazing. So I went to go see the Jonas Brothers on their Happiness Begins tour September 19th of 2019, and I'd always wanted to go see them in concert. I hadn't before, and I hadn't really ever gone to a lot of concerts. My first concert was in 2018 when 5 Seconds of Summer came back, so I had always wanted to go to a Jonas Brothers concert, but was always like too young and poor to do it. So my sister and I bought tickets for the September 19th one, and I was like super excited about it. But she lived in North Carolina at the time. Eventually, I think it was like a month before the concert, but she works for AT&T, and they said that that week no one could take off because Apple was launching their new iPhone. She couldn't take off and she couldn't come to the concert. We were both very, very sad about that. And I was like, well, how am I gonna get my money back for that ticket? So I tried and like reached out to a bunch of friends trying to see if they could go with me, seeing if they wanted to come. And I don't know, I was just like, we were kind of up on like the second or third level, like we were pretty far away, so it was just kind of upsetting, and I couldn't get anyone to come with me. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be out like so much money. So I was kind of sad about that, but I did find some friends who were already going, and so I was gonna just go with them, and we were just gonna like branch off. That was way too much foundation. Like I had plans, but I was still like kind of sad about it. And then I saw probably a week or two before, they were in St. Louis, and one of my friends had gone to that one, and she had upgraded her tickets like the day of or something, and she got way better seats, and just it was like a better experience for her. And I was like, upgrading? I never even thought of that. So I went on to Ticketmaster and like looked at the tickets and looked at like where seats were, how much they were, how it all worked. And there was a seat on the floor in the, I believe it was like 4th section. And it was right on the railing of the middle where like they would walk from the main stage to the side stage or whatever. And I was like, if I get that seat, that means the Jonas Brothers could walk right past me, like right next to me. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna see how much this is gonna cost to upgrade. It only cost an extra like $60 or something like that. So I was like, am I just gonna be sad and far away from the Jonas Brothers and out a lot of money? Or am I gonna pay $60 extra to still be out of a lot of money, but way up close to the Jonas Brothers? I was like, out of money, hello, this is an experience. I bought those tickets and I texted my friends who I was going with, and I was like, hey, I just upgraded my tickets. I'm now in like the floor seats. And so we were freaking out about that, and they told me where they were sitting, and they're actually in the same section, same row, they were just on the other side of it. So I was like, this is perfect, we're gonna be there together, we're gonna be able to exit together and find each other easily. So that was just like perfect, everything about that was perfect. So when we were texting, we were like, oh my gosh, are we gonna bring signs? Because on their Instagram, and like Twitter and stuff, they were posting these fan pictures, and they all had signs. So we made our own signs, and I had to go to work that day and then drive the 2.5 hours to my friend's house to then drive, I think it was only like 30 minutes to Chicago from there. But we just made our own signs. She bought these huge, like not huge, but they were like pretty big poster boards, and I just had a single like normal letter sized paper just because I didn't have anything else. And my idea was there had been like a picture that was taken of Kevin, and he was like in a weird position, so people were trying to Photoshop it and make it into a meme, which they did. So I was like, I'm gonna print that out and I'm gonna make my own meme. And so I printed off a picture of Kevin, and I put a picture of a pencil instead of his guitar, and I dropped my pencil because in Love Bug at the end, someone says, I dropped my pencil, and it was like a really funny sounding phrase. So that's what I did, and I was like really happy with it. I thought it was really funny. As we were walking in, their signs they were told to throw them away because they were too big and they couldn't bring them in. But then there were other people who, while we were sitting there, had like way bigger signs than they did. So must have just been the security guard. They were all like really mad about it. But I mean, I would have been too. Like, that's not cool to let some people in with it and some people not. Maybe they just hit it better. I don't know. And we, you know, get to our seats and we're just chilling there. I wait because I'm obviously like by myself. Like the seats next to me were already bought and paid for, so obviously I didn't know anyone else, and my friends were on the other side. The people next to me were actually really nice. They had bought those tickets and then like met the Jonas Brothers beforehand. They like asked me how much it was when I upgraded, because they said they didn't buy that ticket specifically because it was $550. And I was like, I definitely did not pay $550 for the seat. I paid not even close to that. So I was super excited to hear that and like how much money I saved. And I was like, this is gonna be crazy. As I was sitting there, there were some people in front of me who were like just looking around, and they like read my sign and laughed at it and were like, oh my god, that's so funny. And I was like, thanks. I know. So the concert starts. So there are the Jonas Brothers in all of their glory. We are all screaming our heads off because hello, it's the Jonas Brothers. It was just, I can't put into words how amazing they are. And just, I don't know. It was crazy for me because I had been a big fan ever since like they started, pretty much. I mean, my sister had been really big fans and Kevin was our favorite, and we were just like, I don't know, I was living my like 12-year-old dream. We're all just out there having a grand old time, and I see so like I'm like right on the aisle too. Like there's no one in the middle, like there's no one next to me. It's just the aisle, and they have their cameramen there and photographers and all that. And so I see the photographer up in the front taking pictures of like people with signs up in the front, and I was like, oh, I gotta make sure that like she sees me. As she came by, I like kind of like was like, hey, my sign. And she read it, she laughed, so she wanted my picture, so she took it, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm dying inside. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make the Instagram, but you never know. At some point, the Jonas Brothers start to come down that aisle, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're like, I can touch them. Like, they're so close. Which, like, sounds weird because it is weird. But I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I've never been this close to, like, a celebrity before, or, like, people I'm fans of. So it was just a cool experience. And as they're going down, they're kind of going around with their other hand on the other side. And I was like, oh man, like, that's cool that I'm still, like, close to them, but, like, they're not paying, like, attention to that side, which is fine. But then Joe Jonas comes by. And he looks at he like looks me in the eyes. So we made eye contact, and then he reads my sign and like smiles while singing. And then he moves, like he goes out of his way to like cross his hand around him and high five me. I was like getting noticed by like my childhood crush. What? And I was like, oh my gosh, he saw my sign. He loves my sign. This is amazing. I'm dying inside. He also had really soft hands, which like sounds super weird, but I was like actually surprised by it. I don't know why, but that's just a little tidbit for you. It was Danielle Jonas's birthday, so they brought out a cake for her and we sang happy birthday to her. And I was like, this is a cool like special moment that other people didn't get. So I was like, that's pretty cool. But then I see the photographer, she came kind of back to like where I was standing and was talking to the camera guy who was just chilling there. And she like points out my sign again to him. So I was just like, oh my gosh, yes, it's funny. Yes, like, thank you. And she was like showing him, he was just like, oh, haha, like, I don't get it. And she was like, no, it's the meme. And he like still wasn't getting it. So she had to show him the meme and I like explained the whole thing to him. So it wasn't like that funny, but then I don't know, he was still like laughing about it. I thought it was kind of funny, just I don't know, because that's me. And then later on in the show, during Cake by the Ocean, they have these like boxes in the middle aisle that have those like, you know, car salesman floopy men. I don't know what they're called. So that was like right next to me when they released it. And I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get hit by this thing? But I wasn't. It was fun. And during that song, the cameraman came back to like my section and like where I was, and he started recording us. And I was like, I don't know what he's recording this for, but heck yeah. So we were all like dancing crazy and like lip singing and stuff like that. So I was just like, I don't know what he's using that for, but I hope it's something great. After the show, my friends had told me that that was actually used on the Jumbotron, and they didn't have like their phones out or anything. No one got a video of it or anything, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I was on the Jumbotron. Like all these people saw me freaking out and dancing awkwardly and embarrassingly, but that's okay. So that was like what happened. I was like, this was absolutely crazy. I could not believe it. After the concert, the like girls in front of me who had originally seen my poster, they were like, hey, can we get a picture of it? And I was like, yeah, it's crumpled, but go for it. So they took a picture of it, and I was just like feeling good about myself. It was just a really fun time. Okay, so then we were driving back to my friend's house, and on the way we stopped at, I think it was McDonald's, but it may have also been Taco Bell. I can't remember, but we stopped somewhere for food. And in the car, my friend just like taps me. She's like, you're on the Jonas Brothers Instagram story. And I was like, what the frick? So I pulled out my phone and looked it up. Sure enough, there I was. It was like 3 pictures, and I was the middle one, I think. I'll put a picture up here to show you, because of course I took a screenshot. So I think I screamed pretty loudly in the car and probably annoyed everyone, but I was freaking out. I was like, there's no way. Like, who is that? That is not me. This does not happen. We're like searching through like more of their stories and stuff, and we find Kevin has just the picture of me. Like, it was just me, had my moment, my fun little, I don't know how many seconds it was, but it was amazing. I was like almost crying. I was just so happy. That was just the icing on top of like the most amazing experience I've ever had. And we check their Twitter, and I'm also on their Twitter post, and I was just, I don't know, it's like out of all of the photos that they could have taken, out of all the people there, they chose my sign. And I was just, I don't know, I was so happy. I was like, this was like every decision I had made was just perfect for the whole night. And I was just amazed. Of course I shared it everywhere. So then I had messaged the photographer. I was like researching, trying to find like, who was this photographer? How can I reach out to her and thank her for it? And so I found her name and I found her Instagram, and I messaged her, and I just said like, thank you so much for taking this picture. I mean, she was just like having the best time of her life too. She was dancing, having a good time. And like, I don't know, I just felt like she kind of like felt the vibe of the crowd. And it was really fun seeing her love her job that much. So I reached out to her and said thank you. And then she messaged back saying like, wow, thank you so much for the sweet message. And I was just like, so that was like my whole experience, except there's more. And even to this day, which I am filming this early from when I posted, I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, but it is currently March 18th, 2020. And if you go to Kevin's Instagram and you look at his like story highlights and you go to tour, that cover photo of his tour story highlights is me. And I'm like, I am forever, well, not forever, but like for a while, like at least 6 months, I have been up there living my best life on Kevin Jonas's Instagram. And I just like, life is just not real when I look at that. I'm like, that was absolutely insane. I can't believe that happened to me. So I was just like, this is everything I could have asked for and more. It was absolutely insane. And of course I kept my poster in a folder. So yep, here it is, all nice and flat. And I dropped my pencil with little Kevin, the little Kevin meme. I'm probably going to frame this at some point because I'm weird and crazy like that, but man, this was the best, just the best. That was my little get ready with me Jonas Brothers concert experience. Oh, So let me know in the comments down below if you have gone to see the Jonas Brothers, if you are also featured in any of their photos. I know that they started a new Instagram just for their tour photos, so go follow that. Also, if you don't mind, please follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. That's all I have for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching. That sounded really rude.